Mr. Speaker, while the Prime Minister was once again doing push-ups for the cameras yesterday, his Finance Minister was doing some of his own verbal gymnastics back here. He was trying to explain how a healthy Conservative surplus turned into a Liberal deficit. It turns out that we are just stuck on this whole balanced budget thing. And he's right, Mr. Speaker, and we're proud of it. My question to the Prime Minister is simple. Is he actually ever planning to balance the budget?
Prime Minister.
I thank the member opposite for bringing up an opportunity for me to talk about the Invictus Games and the extraordinary work this government is doing to support veterans, to ensure that there is an opportunity for all Canadians to cheer on the extraordinary valor, courage and strength of Canadian veterans. But obviously, on the issue of economic growth, we made it very clear during the election campaign that we're going to be investing in communities, we're going to be putting more money in the pockets of the middle class and those working hard to join it, because fiscal responsibility and indeed balanced budgets are important.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we've all heard of March Madness. Here's what the Liberals did in March by their own budget numbers. They took the $7.5 billion surplus we left them, spent every dime of it, and then spent another $5 billion on top of that in 1 month. It's reckless, it's irresponsible, and every Canadian is going to have to pay it back. Does the Prime Minister understand that it's actually not his money to spend? It belongs to hard-working Canadians.
Prime Minister.
Is it reckless and irresponsible to be lowering taxes for the middle class while raising them on the wealthiest 1%? Is it reckless and irresponsible to be giving a Canada Child benefit that's more generous to 9 out of 10 Canadian families by doing more for the families who need it and less for the families who don't? What frankly would have been reckless and irresponsible were for Canadians to decide to keep them in government for 1 more minute after October 19th.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Let's just skip to the push-ups. Mr. Speaker, it's actually the job of the Prime Minister to at least try and keep spending under control. And the facts are clear. The Parliamentary Budget Officer and the Finance Department agree. Conservatives left this government a healthy surplus, and the Liberals have blown it. Does the Prime Minister understand that this billions of spending actually has to be paid back?
Honourable Prime Minister.
I'm pleased that the member opposite now has discovered what apparently she thinks the job of the Prime Minister is, because the previous Prime Minister added $160 billion to Canada's debt with very little to show for it. Indeed, for 10 years we had lower economic growth than Canadians needed to have. We had underinvestment in our infrastructure, in our communities, in public transit. That is why this government is committed to making the investments in our communities that Canadians so desperately need, that businesses so desperately need, and putting more money into the pockets of the middle class and those working hard to join it. That's the job of the